Just a little song idea there. I think we recorded that actually. We've been releasing these songs just for fun. If I get an idea that I think's worthy of recording, I'll just run up to the cabin studio, and me and Maddie will sit there and do a little work tape or something, or maybe even something that ends up being a song, and we'll release it. So we've been doing that. Check some of that stuff out. What we're doing is putting it up for sale for a little while, a couple weeks. Let it maybe pay for the cost of the recording, and then we'll put it out on Spotify and all that for the masses. And we'll make tens of dollars on those, but it's okay. That's not why we're doing it. We're doing it to keep real music alive. And I always say that posting on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff's great, but if you're not in the trenches playing live and working on music and going in and recording in a real studio with real players in real time, making professional recordings, then what are we doing? I mean, the end goal with all this stuff is to make music and get it to a place where you can pull it up and listen to it, right? And hopefully it takes you somewhere out of your mind for a minute. But if we just obsess with all the little things, gear, and where to put your fingers on the fretboard and all that stuff, I know that's really important, but it's not how you get there as long as you get there. And we want to get there. We want to help you get there. And so that's kind of the thing that I've been focusing on mostly lately, is just getting to, why are we doing all this stuff? It's to make music. And so I know you guys get that. I get fired up and get passionate about it. I just did a great podcast earlier with about 3 guys all over the world. One was in England and one was in Portland and some other spots. But it was with the Wampler pedal guys, and I did some Artist Works promotion. We're in the middle of doing a pre-launch for a totally brand new, revitalized, revamped, overhauled, new website, new platform for Artist Works. The entire thing has been revamped. And my school, I'm proud to say that my brand new school, after 10 or 11 years at Artist Works, is going to be the first one to kind of kick off the whole thing. So that'll be October 28th. I'll put some links below and all that stuff, as you know. But we're super excited. That's going to be incredible. So excited. It needed to happen. We needed to revamp, and everything's going to be, upgraded, and all the video exchanges and the way that you use the platform and everything. They've added a bunch of cool stuff and just made it really user friendly. And the video exchanges on there. I've been with some guys for 10 years doing videos back and forth. And so definitely check that out. We'll be promoting the shit out of that, as we do. We got to make a living. But anyway, it's been a little crazy, as you can tell, that I've not been on YouTube as consistently as I would like to, just simply due to the sheer factor of being absolutely unbelievably and overwhelmingly busy. My mom was in town for a week. That was awesome. The weather is incredible. I know Uncle Larry's been talking about the weather. He loves the fall weather, and so do I. I'm not a big fan of the humidity, even though I'm from South Alabama. I like that crisp, cool weather, man. Cars run better. The guitar action lowers. Everything starts buzzing and rattling. But that's okay. That's part of it. But guys, man, it's been unbelievable. There's so much stuff to catch up on. I can't tell you how much we all, as a community here, appreciate the support and the love and the kind comments and the feedback. It's just, it's just unbelievably overwhelming. And we need it. It's still, no matter where you're at in your career, you still have these insecurities of your playing and are you doing the right things and all that stuff. And, we feel like we're onto something pretty cool here. So we're just going to keep going with it. I just had a great phone conversation with Brett Papa. He's now coming over to Scotland. I mean, that's going to be fucking awesome. Uncle Larry, me, Brett Papa, of course, Eric Johnson, Mike Stern, Robbie McIntosh, John Goldie, and some others. That's going to be another one for the books next year. I'm working on my workshop for October of 2026. I haven't talked about that a whole lot because we're in the incubatory stages of planning that, but that's going to be incredible. We might be calling it Trapped in Nashville. It might be the greatest guitar immersion experience that has ever existed. Let's just say that. I'm trying to put together what's going to be an amazing event. And I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I said, we're just getting it going. But we've got some scratch people that are helping me with it, and two amazing venues picked out, as well as some other late night venues for the performances and jamming and all that stuff. But this is going to be over the top, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So more on that to come. Had some great immersion experiences. I got to tell you guys, a great gig last night with the trio. We're still rocking on along at the Underdog. But I will say that Friday and Saturday I did immersion experiences back to back, which I know a lot of people think it's crazy to do these immersions, but this all came out of nowhere. And so just the idea of knowing the city, knowing where to eat and drink and listen to live music, and these random encounters and the VIP guitar safari hangs and all that stuff, man, it's a lot of fun. I'm making some great friends. Had a couple come in and ended up going and hanging with Billy for a couple hours, which is amazing. BFG. And then the next day had another one, and the guy came into town, and first thing that morning had to take his wife to the emergency room for appendicitis surgery. So his day got off to a crazy start. She's fine, and she insisted that he go and do the day with me. So that's what we did, and went and heard Daryl Scott that night at 3rd and Lindsley, which was amazing. Really fun stuff. Still working on the finger. It's not as good as I would like it to be, but I'm dealing with it. I'm not letting it slow me down or get me down too bad. But anyway, I know I'm talking a lot on this one because it's just been a minute since I've been on here. But God, man, the quality of human beings that I get to hang out with and that I call my friends, and this could be people that I've known forever, and it could be people that I just met a couple days ago. One guy came in from Atlanta I did a private lesson with, and we talked for 45 minutes before we even got started about his his son's best friend that lives across the street was killed in a motorcycle accident. And I just sat there and talked to this guy for almost an hour about how everybody was feeling and how this all was going down. And man, I mean, just what do you say? There are no words. I can't even express this in words now, what that moment was like. Talking to him about it, I can't imagine what that's like. But I mean, this is life, man. I'm navigating through and meeting all these different people and all these different circumstances that people are in, and life things that are going on with people. And man, it just makes you zoom out and just kind of have a wide perspective of life and the way that we all interact with each other, and life and death and sickness and people that are going through shit and all this stuff. And so, man, that's why we have this community, and we check out and play music to kind of take us out of our minds for a minute. A guy was saying a minute ago that just doing this, just playing that chord, he said when he plays that change, I can hardly do it with my finger. He said that change just gives him a feeling of hope for life in general. Just that one little change. I thought, man, that is amazing. Like, for that to have that kind of impact on somebody, just hearing that sound is like, it's kind of a hopeful sound, and that kind of shit right there, man, I love that. Okay, getting to some guitar stuff. Um, so I wanted to share something with you folks, and this might be the title of the video or whatever. We're still going with clickbait because that's the only way we can get any views. Of course, you guys know that, how all this stuff works. But I will say this. I've been doing a lot of teaching here, even more than normal recently, seeing a lot of guys. And man, so here's one of the things I wanted to share with you. I think that this is absolutely crucial. It's a great way to save 10 years on the guitar journey. And I think a lot of guys can benefit from this. I certainly have. And it's the fact that one of the things people don't talk about when they're talking about the chord inversions and all the information around those chords, which I'm very passionate about because I know how well it worked for me and a lot of guys that I've seen progress with, and a lot of fellow guitar players that are working professionals that kind of view these things the same way. I'm not the only one that thinks this way. There's a lot of guys that do, and we love their playing. And so I will say that the hand position, left hand position for playing lead guitar, triad stuff, dyads, double stops, chords, partials, it doesn't matter. The hand position is absolutely crucial. If I'm playing, let's say we're in the key of E. This is the 1953 Southern Jumbo that I got from Music City Vintage, by the way. I love this guitar. It's a nice, good old dead sounding Gibson, right? So the hand position thing, once you get that chord under your fingers, I would like you to just lift your hand off of the guitar and let these fingers just hover over the fretboard. With your hand though still on the plane, that being a plane, this being a plane, the plane of the fingers, in the proper position. So when I go to commit to these strings and these notes, that's the C shape. I can rely on that. That's confident, right? That's concrete. Okay, let's lift those off and just let them hover there. If I drop these fingers down just where they're sitting, my chances of hitting the right notes and having a concrete fundamental framework for the A shape, the C shape, the D shape, the E shape, the G shape, that is going to save you so much time. I see so many guys that I'll play something and they'll try to play it back, and they're darting up here and they're darting up here. They're playing every single note except the one that's right under their fingers. It's like it's right there. So part of the thing with the technical aspects and the physical aspects of making music is knowing how to hear those intervals. If you're here, you should know that that note is right behind there. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be up here, because you can tell that there's notes in between those intervals. So that's a big part of it. If you're going to do this, you know what those movements, a half step, a whole step, what those moves, the sound that's going to provide. So if I'm here, I know that half step is going to be a resolve. So the intervals and stuff start really making sense. But the point is knowing that confidently that when you drop those fingers down, each finger gets a fret, or each fret gets a finger, right? So you're like, okay, well, that's confident. I know that if I do this, I'm just dropping that finger down where it wants to go. I'm not doing anything that's contorting my hand in some crazy way. It's all comfortable and all right there. And my E, my A, my B, my 6 minor, my flat 7, 2, whatever it is, it's all right there. If I go to the A shape, same chords, 2, all right there. But I'm in this plane, right? I've got my hand is comfortably in this plane, this area. I know that if I start on the middle finger, I know that my major scale is going to be set up right there. I don't have to go moving around all over the place. If I'm in the D shape, okay, I slid up to the C shape there. I couldn't help myself, but that. Set up now. Okay, that D shape's not going to be as cool as the C shape or as fun as the G shape, but it's there. Here's the G shape. I love this one. There's a lot of guitar in this shape. So okay, I slid up to the E shape there, but no big deal. But if I'm in this plane, my fingers are already set up. They're already in that plane. They're sitting there. Sorry, I did this. I meant this. It's almost like the C shape, but you're doing this. So it's almost like whatever fingers are you're trying to get, whatever fingers are the farthest up this way. When this moves up, now you've got, if I bar that's my point. If I bar this, then I've got these fingers are ready to go. If I'm barring this, these fingers are ready to go. So it's all about being in the right position. So if I'm in this G shape, again, these fingers, sorry. They're all ready to go. I've taken 90% of the work out of the equation by being in the right spot, because when I drop that ring finger down, it's in the right place. It's going to land on the right fret. If I'm trying to do that, that means this finger needs to do it. If I'm doing this, that's for the second finger. Little finger is on the 12th fret because it drops down right where it's supposed to. I hope that's making sense, but I think that's going to help you guys a lot. I hope you got something out of that. This is a quick little lesson. Don't forget, when you sit down to practice, make sure you have a tonal center. Hit a big E chord. Play something. Just try to make some melodies. Be really simple, but don't lose the tonal center. Always have a tonal center. You can play in the key of E for 2 hours. Doesn't have to be some fancy chord progression, but don't forget to have a tonal center, and that's going to help your ear and ultimately make you a better musician, not just a better guitar player. Okay, guys, hope you got something out of that. I love y'all. I got to rock on. I've got a ton of interviews and podcasts and stuff that we're doing for this launch of Artist Works. Lot of stuff to come in 2026, man. I'm just working my ass off while I can, make hay while the sun shines, as they say. And so I'm lucky and grateful to have the momentum going that I've worked so hard for these past, 25 years in Nashville and 35 years as a working musician, since I was about 11 or 12 years old when it started, and making a living at it. And, It just keeps getting better. It's not as much about the guitar as it is the relationships and the friendships and the community. And so I'm a huge advocate for that part of this. You know who you are. A lot of you guys are my close friends at this point, and man, I just appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm gonna get out of here, and again, thank you so much. Not telecasting from East Nashville today. No train, surprisingly. And playing the old Gibson, the 53 Southern Jumbo that I got from Music City Vintage. So go see Bo and those guys down there and tell them I said hi. Fun guitar. Cool major 7 voicing there. All right, guys. I'll see you real soon. Thanks a bunch, and thanks for all the support. All right, cheers.